All right, Jags, we about to continue the lesson. This video right here, it is a continuation to the video about joy, pain, and worry being the three emotions that everybody's life revolves around. Now, and how it connects to ego, money, and sex being the basis for life and why people live. Is based around ego, money, and sex. And ego, money, and sex is connected to joy, pain, and worry. And in this video, I will explain all of this in detail. But before I go into that, I want to talk about love. I was driving today and I was contemplating about the topic of love. L-O-V-E. Now, this is the confusion that people have about love. Love is really a feeling that is often misused, and it's also a wasted emotion. And why I say that is because people don't know what love is for. They think love is for expressing it to someone else. And that's the problem. See, love is tied into self-preservation, survival. Love is an emotion that really supposed to be showed towards yourself. But what happens is people end up trying to love people. And this is why people always end up in a heartbroken relationship, because they're trying to use love upon someone else. And what happens is they start to realize that this isn't working. And guess what? It's not working, and it's not ever going to work, because you are misusing the emotion of love. You are trying to use it upon other people, and it's not designed for that. See, love is designed for you to love yourself in order to survive. But what happens is you take that emotion of love that was meant for your personal survival, and you give it away to other people. And what happens is you end up feeling depleted in the process, because it wasn't designed for that in the beginning. It was designed for you to use it towards yourself. But you're taking it and you're trying to use it with everybody that you meet. You're trying to show them how much you love them and how much you care for them. And what ends up happening is you keep getting disappointed when they don't reciprocate the love. That should wake you up by now. You should understand by now. But everybody, everybody grow at different rates. I get it, but, everybody's not left side of the brain. But what I'm telling you is, it's like trying to use let's say a can opener, right? Now imagine you using a can opener, but trying to use it as a screwdriver. It may work, but guess what? 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work how a screwdriver is designed to work. You can get around and try to bend the can opener to fit into the screw to make it work like a screwdriver, but it wasn't designed to be a screwdriver. That means you are using the utensil for something that it wasn't designed for. But because nobody ever told you that, you don't know what you're doing. It's like if you went into a tool shed and you saw all the tools laying around You don't know what they're for. You don't know what they're for. Just like when you give a baby something and they'll take whatever you give them and use it for something else that it wasn't designed for. Like if you give a dog a shoe, he don't know what the shoe was made for, so he doesn't respect the value of the shoe. He bites it, he chews it up, and then you come in there all mad. What you doing with this shoe? Why you bite this shoe? You know better than that, Scruffy. Go to the corner. And he wimps away. He didn't know any better. So this is what it's like with love. You have something that you don't know how to use because nobody ever told you. A lot of people, they wasn't raised properly, right? They didn't have a mother. They didn't have a father. They didn't have nobody like a left side of the brain to teach them. So what ends up happening is they grow up in disarray. Just like if you got a child and you don't discipline that child, it grows up and it keeps those same habits throughout adulthood. That's why you got to teach your child to do the chores, make the bed, brush their teeth. Because if you don't, they grow up with these bad habits. And that's how a lot of people are, sadly. They don't have proper understanding of how they operate. So they just a bunch of fleeting emotions inside of them. So they take all of these emotions and they misuse the emotions that's inside of them. So they take love and they misuse it. That's why I'm here to say love is meant to keep you alive. It's connected to survival. It's a survival trait called self-preservation. Okay? That's why you end up always feeling disappointed whenever you in a relationship with someone, because you thinking that they supposed to love you back. You thinking love is created to make people love you back. But that's not what it's created for. It's created for you to love yourself. When you take that love and give it to other people, you are gambling with your own happiness because you're expecting something back. When you give people love and you expecting them to love you back, that's why you end up heartbroken. But hopefully now, since you have this understanding, you won't feel the same way about it. And that's why I do these videos, because your life will change when you start looking at it differently. When you start analyzing life from the perspective of wisdom, you won't have these problems. That's why I break down the mechanics of life. You got to break the concepts behind everything, the context behind everything, and the concept behind everything. Therefore, you don't get all heartbroken and emotional about things when it don't go your way. See, people get emotional about things because they don't understand how things operate. The more you know, the less disappointed you become. I'm telling you. And this is a part of growth and wisdom. It eliminates disappointment over time. That's what it does. Now, how does this all play into ego, sex, and money, joy, pain, and worry? How does all this interconnect, you might say? Because you have an ego for what makes you feel joy. Sex creates a joy. Pain comes from not being accepted, which affects a person's ego. They start feeling insecure about themselves. You see, all of these emotions play into each other. Everything interconnects. You see, then people get hurt because they love. Most of the times you loving people that's not even worth your love. Needless to say, you shouldn't even be doing that anyway. But for argument's sake, you loving people who not even worth it. I'm in love with the truth, the right understanding to heaven. See, when you become friends with wisdom, truth, knowledge, understanding, that's something that will never leave you. It keeps me medicated. I'm medicated. I'm high right now. I'm high off the truth of life. I'm high. You walk around with a spiritual ego about yourself, that you understand things. You see things clearly. If that's not enough to get you high, I don't know what is. I don't want no artificial high. What good is it me getting high, smoking some weed and doing all of that and coming down from the high with the same ignorance and no understanding about life? That's a recipe for disaster. When you get an ignorant person high and inebriated, that's a recipe for disaster. So what good is that type of high? I don't need that in my life. You see? Like I say to myself, I am drugs. I am a drug. Truth is a drug. You get addicted to it. It fills you up. That's why you keep coming back to these videos, because you got an appetite for something and it keeps calling you back because it's hitting the spot. It's hitting that G spot, the God spot that's inside of you, and you getting an orgasm from it. So you keep coming back, and that's a good thing. If you're going to be addicted to anything, be addicted to this right here, because this is something that's worthwhile. You don't got to pay for it. Where the weed man at? I need a dime bag. You ain't got to pay for it. It's yours. It's eternal. And guess what? The reason why you connect with it, because it was already in you to begin with. See, only thing I'm doing, okay, it's like this. I'm going to give you a metaphor, and thank you, Spirit. When it rains, rain represents a messenger. The rain falls upon the ground. So these words are falling upon your ears, right? The seed is inside of you, just like the seed is beneath the ground. The message is the rain coming from the clouds. The seed is inside of you. So we're going to say inside of you represents the ground. Just like in the actual world, the seed is in the ground. Now, these words I'm saying represents the rain. They go inside of you just like the rainwater goes down into the ground. And what was inside of you, the seed, just like what's inside of the ground, it drinks the water. And then what was already inside of you lying dormant in the form of a seed, it sprouts up. Just like when the rain goes into the ground, the seed sprouts up. And then what? You bear fruit. So what I'm saying is, what I'm telling you is connecting with what is inside of you, which is the seed that was lying dormant inside of you. The fact that you are interested lets you know that you have a soul. And another thing, that's a question people keep asking me. How you know if you have a soul? I just answered it. I just answered it. The interest level and you connecting with the information and the seed germinating and sprouting inside of you, that's the definition of a soul. And that's why we say what? A soul is what? A collection of what? Information. Because it's lying inside of the seed that's dormant inside of you. What I'm saying now is just the rainwater. And every time you hear these videos, guess what? You get wiser and wiser. Getting wiser and wiser represents the seed breaking through the ground and growing into a strong tree, which is rooted and grounded in the truth. So this knowledge that you obtain represents roots of a tree that will ground you. So everybody won't be able to just push you around like one of them, you ever seen the cowboy movies? What's those things called that be rolling around? If you know what I'm talking about, put it in the comment section. Yeah, so you won't be like one of those things in a ghost town in the cowboy movies, that little weed thing that be rolling around. You will have roots. You get what I'm saying? So that's the importance of it. That's the importance of it. Now, when I say misusing love, I don't mean that you don't have compassion for people. It's a difference between compassion and love. You see, compassion is knowing that somebody has the ability to feel pain and suffering, and you being compassionate, you don't want another person to have to suffer, because you, as a human, you understand what suffering is about. So compassion and mercy, that's what that's about. You see. So I don't know why today I just wanted to go into emotions, man, because a lot of times we overlook emotions. And when you look at the world today, it's so many people with bipolar and all of these psychiatric medications that people be on and everything. It's because people emotions are in whack, man. That's a major problem in this world, man. Depression, a lot of depression and things, it comes from people being disappointed throughout their life, and they just don't know how to look at life. Depression leads, not knowing how to look at life leads to depression. So that's why it's important to understand these emotions and what it means. And I think I'm gonna end this video right here. Y'all tell me what you think, man. And, you know, leave comments in the comment section. Tell me what y'all think. And by the way, hit the likes button, hit the subscribe button, add us on Instagram, support the Patreon, and all of that other good stuff. But y'all enjoy the rest of your day. This Left Side of the Brain signing out. Jaguars up.